Hello, Bucknell. This is Melissa from Bucknell Student Health, and we are here today to give you a quick tutorial on how to make a couple of do-it-yourself masks with things you currently have in your room. The reason we're doing this is obviously we are wishing you all well and hope you're staying healthy, thinking about the CDC recommendation and the fact that in Pennsylvania right now, it really is a requirement to wear a face covering when we're entering any essential businesses. So that does include the dining facility on campus. We want everybody to be safe and protected and take care of each other. So I will turn the video over to Lisa Malik, who is our front office staff at Student Health, and she is extremely crafty to begin with, but she's going to show us really quick and easy 2 different face masks to make, and I'll turn it over to you, Lisa.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. So the first one we're going to do is how to make a mask with a bandana using hair ties or rubber bands. Now you can get a bandana pretty much at Walmart. Any local store may have them. You may have this in your room already. So it's just a simple, easy folding pattern. So you're going to fold the bottom part up and fold it in. And what people will do is they'll put an extra piece of fabric in the center of it just to give you an extra little bit of protection, because that's where your nose and your mouth are going to be. And then you're going to fold it up and fold the top part down over. And then you could take your hair ties or rubber bands or whatever you may have, and you're going to slip them on. Same thing to the other side. And then you're going to fold your ends in. So you're going to fold this one over, stretch out that rubber band, whatever you have. Same thing with the other side, and stretch it out. And you're going to take your 2 flaps and you're going to interlock them. So you're going to open the one up and kind of place it in there gently. And then just flatten it out, because this is where it's going to be resting on your nose. So you want it to be kind of flattened and comfortable. And then you simply put it on. So putting the straps over your ears. Making sure your nose is covered and your mouth is covered, and you can kind of stretch it out. And that is bandana with rubber bands. And you can practice the fold a couple different times. You may want to take a little time and practice folding it just so it's comfortable for you, and then just stretching out your rubber bands just so they fit a little bit nicer around your ears. But you have multiple layers of fabric there kind of protecting you as well. So that is bandana and hair ties.
Awesome.
The next one that I want to show you is the t-shirt one. So for this, if you have an old t-shirt lying around that you're willing to cut up, you're going to need a t-shirt, scissors, and I like a ruler and a marker. That makes life a little bit easier when we go to cut everything, okay? So the first thing you want to do is select your shirt, lay it out nice and flat. We're going to use the sleeve portion of this for your mask covering. So what you want to do is cut along this side of your seam, and you're just going to cut along. It's a great way to upcycle some t-shirts if they have some lying around that maybe don't fit you or they're stained or something, but this is a great project for this. So once you have that cut, you're just going to open it up. Now you want the short portion of it, which would be like that inseam under your arm, right in the middle, because that's where your nose and your mouth are going to sit, okay? So we're just going to set that to the side for a minute, and we're going to get some of our straps cut. So what you want to do is take your shirt, and again, lay it out. And we're going to use this bottom seam because this actually makes really nice kind of rope-like material. And you're basically going to cut off this extra piece here because you don't need all this extra fabric. So we're just going to, again, run along. Okay, so this is where the ruler would come in kind of handy. I like things to be kind of even. If you're kind of, oh, I don't really have a ruler handy, I can just kind of wing it. That's totally up to you. I find that if you make this portion a little bit thicker, you're going to have more comfort with the rope when it turns out. So I'm going to do probably about 1.5 inches, and I'm just going to mark it, just going across, just so it's kind of even and you don't have uneven kind of rope material when you're wearing it. It's all about comfort too, because if it's not comfortable, you're not going to want to wear this. To kind of eyeball that, and we measured all those lines out, and we're just going to run through and cut that real quick. All right, and set the rest of that shirt aside. So what you're going to do is you're just kind of fold it over, and you're going to kind of stretch it out a little bit, kind of wiggle it a little bit. And what happens is it turns into, kind of folds over on itself. You can see real close. Kind of folds in on itself. It's still really soft t-shirt material, but now it's kind of like rope, and that's going to help with our ties of our mask. So I'm just going to cut one end of it really quick and put that to the side. So back to our masks. So the sleeve portion, the finished portion of it, is where it's going to sit on your nose, kind of like this. So what we're going to do is make the slits for the rope. And you're going to fold each end over about 1 inch on each side. And back to ruler and try to make everything kind of even. I'm going to mark about 1 inch on it. And again, you want to make sure you're counting the same on each side. And then we're going to just make some slight little cuts. So what we're going to do is on that folded portion is where you're going to cut it. You don't want to make the cuts too wide, because when you slip your rope through it, it's going to be really loose. And we want this to kind of be taut and pull really nice. So we're just making the tiniest little marks, tiny little slits. There we go. Okay. And again on the other side. And then you can kind of see as you open it up and kind of wiggle it, you can see all the little slits. There you go. So what we're going to do is take our rope that we made and we're going to weave it through it. So you're just going to kind of make it a little point, and you're just going to start weaving it. And again, we want these to be tight. We don't want them to be too loose. So it might be a little hard to stick the rope through it, but in the long run, it is going to be worth it. Okay. And so there's 2 different patterns. With this one, you can do it 2 different ways. You can make ear ones that just go around your ears, or you can do one that goes around the back of your neck and then up and over your head. And I have 2 that I've already made that I'm going to demonstrate. So I'm just going to put this to the side for right now and show you my other 2 that I made. So this one is one that I've already kind of started. And what you would do is you would have your short cording, and you would just kind of make a little knot. You don't want to make it too tight because you're going to need to be able to move it and adjust it accordingly. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut off all that extra stuff. You don't need all that. And then you're gonna kind of move this knot, because if you don't move it, it's gonna sit behind your ear and it's gonna irritate and rub. So what you're gonna wanna do is kind of shift it down. So pulling it so it's gonna sit underneath. I'm gonna take this off. There you go. And again, as you can see, you can kind of make this, you can undo the knot if you want to make it a little bit tighter. So it pulls it back a little bit more. But that's one side that you can do. And again, you would repeat this on the other side. Okay. And the other one that I really like is one continuous piece. It would be same thing with the masks. You would cut the slices in it. But this is tied at the end. So it's going to go over your head. Kind of sit down like this. And again, the folded piece, the finished piece on the sleeve is going to go up and over your nose. And this one is a long string. So you go up like this. And then you can tie it up here. And then just adjust it accordingly. This one sits a little bit nicer. It doesn't put any strain on your ears or any in this area, because you don't, if it's rubbing, it might get a little sore. And it kind of puts the strain up on top and just a little bit around your neck. So three different kinds of ways to make some masks upcycling. We kind of figured that you can even use the fabric, rest of the fabric from the t-shirt. You can cut it and cut this portion out, and you'll end up with something like this. Just a big piece of fabric. You can make more masks that way. You can even just fold it and tie it up that way as well. Any scarves. So you can get about 4 masks out of one t-shirt. So you can make one for you and make one for your friends. And these are the great thing about the fabric ones is that they're washable. You can reuse them. Once masks like these get wet and soiled, they're ineffective and you can't wash these. So trying to be really sustainable, t-shirts, the way to go. That's about it.
Well, great. Thanks, Lisa. That was awesome. And all the things that you said, I totally love in this time where people are, struggling on many levels. It's kind of nice to have not only an outlet to make something and be productive, but something that's useful and sustainable and customizable. It's all good. So thank you very much for showing us how to do those. Everybody at Student Health really does wish the best to the students as they prepare to move forward, go home, wherever home might be. And we hope to see you all soon back on campus. So take care, and thanks again, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.